Good evening to everyone. This is Gregory Halpern. I'm Coralie, Gauthier from Surréalisme. We are very happy today to maybe give like a few insights about the collaboration that we are running for a while now with Magnum, the agency, and with every specific story that we are building with this amazing artist photographers that are working with us. So first, maybe some people don't know the space, so I'm just going to explain kind of briefly, if you don't mind, Gregory, but just to explain where we are. So it's a space that has been founded in 1999 by Karl Lagerfeld. It was his personal space. It was not connected to any brand. It was really like a space where he was meeting a family that he built to be able to photograph the maximum that he wanted. He was almost 70 years old. This space, when you arrive, it's difficult to imagine, but white walls. It was a former contemporary art gallery of a well-known collector, and it took a few years for him to start to bring books in the space. So this collection, it was not the collection of a bibliophile. I know that there is a trend around the world of bibliophile, but he was really working with books daily to build his vision, his research, with lots of curiosity on lots of different subjects, and it was like a true inspiration for him, but for as well the people that were surrounding him. So today we are still a bookshop. You enter by a bookshop. It's the same for 25 years in terms of editorial line. We got two booksellers that are very specific about their work and their knowledge, and one of them helped Karl as well to build this space. We have a publishing house as well. We are working as well with common friends. We are working with Michael Mack, with Mac Publishing as well, sometime on our side. And we decided to transform this space that was a photo studio to keep it as a creation space, but to extend not only to photography, but as well to dance, to theater player, to music, to see how we can explore the 33,000 books that are gathered here. And it's not easy, and Gregory is going to talk maybe a little bit about it, because there is no order. So I don't know if you approach to it, but maybe there is an order that Karl knew, but we don't know. So we're starting to be friends with these books, and we're starting to find some theme. But the idea was to invite artists, to ask them to spend time with the space. This is the first thing. They need to make time in their schedule to spend time, to breathe, to look at it, and then to maybe like go in it and dig in it in a way that they don't know, because if they come with an idea, they don't know necessarily if they can reach it, because we don't know if we can find it. So this is a long introduction of the space, but it's explaining why we are here as well. And with Magnum, and there is a huge part of this family with us, we're really having 7 more than fun, because it's a pure creation basically. So thank you, Gregory, to have been part of that. And it's our deep pleasure. So maybe I would like to start while asking you how you approach the space, and because obviously it was discussed by distance, and suddenly you are here. So what was your first feeling and approach about it?
I'm just thinking about now that what's so amazing about this library is that you see all the books at once. You know how in a normal library you go down the corridor or a little section, and here you see it all at once, and it's both amazing and totally intimidating, because it's like it makes me think about all that I don't know and how dumb I feel of all the books I haven't read, you know. But then it's also so, just to be able to climb up the ladder and and just be surprised, like to pull a book that I don't know just based on the, and I wanted the whole thing to lead from that, to not know what I would find, to pull books that I didn't know, and some books that I did, but that's what I wanted, was to be led to places I didn't intend to go, you know, maybe like the way Karl wanted the space for himself, so that it wasn't like you knew what you would find, you know.
Exactly, it was more like a way to open mind, basically, and to see one book is leading you to another story. And I believe like when you arrive, you were maybe having a different idea of what you finally decided to work. So what was the process? Because if you forgot about the themes that you wanted to come in because overwhelmed by what was going on, how did you start the work?
Yeah, so I did have some themes that stayed, like masculinity or you know, oppositional forces maybe, or early photography, but then a lot of them just got sort of lost in the process because I made a copy stand, and I just pulled books, and anything that interested me, that I was attracted to or repelled by or confused by, I had a feeling, I photographed the image in the book and I tried to just react intuitively. And then I went home and I printed everything out, and I filled up my studio with hundreds and hundreds of pictures from here. And it became like a little miniature version of this library back home, you know. And then I played with the pictures and cut them or tore them up or juxtaposed them, and slowly there were fewer and fewer pictures on the wall until there were maybe 20 or 30 that stayed, that I kept, that remained mysterious or powerful for me, and I tried to work with those pictures.
And like for a long time, like when we were working, of course, on our program and everything, the exhibition was remaining untitled, and suddenly like a title arrived, Archive of the Unknown, and it made totally sense for, I mean, if the people that you went already to see, or maybe you can explain as well about this, because it's perfectly connected of the process.
Yeah, I've become really interested in this idea that early photography often was about the desire to capture, collect, categorize, to make an archive of a certain thing. Thinking of Muybridge photographing movement, you know, or Anna Atkins, you know, trying to capture algae and all of the forms of it, you know. And then in making an archive, they unintentionally also made something totally mysterious, that, like in trying to add knowledge to the world, they also added all these questions, and when you take away the information, some of those images are totally mysterious and pure poetry, and get back to all the things we don't know. And that really interests me, like what we don't know and what I don't know, and trying to like live in that space of not like providing answers or information, but just to sort of ask the questions and be okay with the questions. And so I thought of this idea of the archive of the unknown as not trying to make it known, but try to let it be all unknown, even to me at times, you know.
But from this, you build a kind of narrative somehow, and you feel that it was from the physicality of working on the different materials that you pick, the superposition, the way to create shade, creating fake shade, like the fiction reality that we can find as well, of how you make this assembly of images. What was how you?
I guess I started to, after I printed the pictures, I then sometimes re-photographed them, and when I photographed the photographs, there was a shadow of the photograph. If it was curved, you know, you would see a shadow. And then this became really interesting to me, the idea of how photography distorts 3 dimensions into 2. We think of it as like, maybe documenting, but it's also really translating or distorting 3 dimensions into 2. And then what happens if you try to bring the 3rd dimension back, and another distortion that happens, and then there's this like play of like what's an object and what's the representation of the object, and how are they different, and what is what, you know, like there's things in the show that I hope you'll see that maybe trick you. There's like shadows and fake shadows, or there's an object in the room, two objects in the room that are also in photographs. And I wanted to play with these questions of reality and fiction, and also make you not trust me totally, you know, like to play with you as a viewer a little too.
But yeah, you were telling me as well that like the installation itself, you didn't know exactly how the viewers will accept it, and it was this idea as well of like, that's not the subject at the end. They can play about having the interpretation, see the link that you build or not. But yeah, it's pretty surprising because for me it's linking to a lot of books, because I have the reference books and you can get it if you take the little map. But there is as well, it's a lot about the history, the origin as well of photography. You pick as well some unknown images or known images or different process, and it's from there that there is as well this way to play with the origin of photography. Is it something that was important for you?
Yeah, for me, I mean, that early photography is more and more to me the most beautiful and mysterious time for me in photography, increasingly, that I've been thinking about. And there's just something sometimes mystical or surreal, but unintentionally surreal, with really early photography. And I love that feeling, and trying to just celebrate it and maybe try to do it myself. Yeah.
And the collage, and yeah, there is as well some maybe themes that you are like the surrealism, the masculinity, different aspects of your work, but in a total different way. I feel. I know that the collage you experimented a little bit, but it was another way, and the creation as well of this small architecture as well, that is a link to. Would you like to say a little bit about this?
Yeah, there's a picture in the show of the Beschers, Brundenhille Bescher took in 1974 of these coal tipples, they're called. It's like a homemade kind of coal mine or device for filtering coal. And I've been in love and fascinated by these pieces of architecture forever. And you know, I was thinking about how photography is like a way that you can kind of claim or capture or maybe even own in a way the thing that you're photographing in a way, you know. And I couldn't photograph these things because they don't exist anymore. So the best I could do was make a version of the coal tipple that's in the picture. And then there's a photogram in the show also that's it's like a unique photograph on a piece of paper where the shadow from the coal tipple is exposed on the paper. So it was like a 2D object that became 3D and then also became 2D again, and lots of questions.
And in your, I mean, this kind of work, you feel that it's opening something special to you? Is it maybe a timing as well of world and life that is like a way to express as well, maybe differently about the violence, about the questioning, about...
Yeah, I think sort of the same themes always emerge with an artist. In my experience, when you look at their work, the same obsessions, you know, over the same lifetime you see. So for me, it's questions of oppositional forces or violence emerges, questions of masculinity emerge. And so I think a lot of that is there as well, light and shadow. But I was a little bored with the way I'd been making pictures. I felt like I spent so much of my life trying to become a photographer and be a success, and I felt like, okay, I'm doing it, but I'm not feeling excited, and I wanted to use this as a chance to just look at other people's pictures and fall in love with them and think about what they were doing, and then maybe to like be a student again. And so just to try something new. So this for me came at a great time to just experiment. Yeah.
And you're working as well maybe in different way for the books, because that's something like books and libraries. Obviously, it's something that is appealing to you and building more and more. It's another way for you than photographing or building exhibition, how you look at all these dimensions as well of your work.
Yeah, for me, my whole life I always thought about a book first. Like, I want to make a book about something, and then I would spend 5-10 years making the pictures, you know. And this time I wanted to think, no, I wanted to make an exhibition, and I don't usually think that way. I think about the book first, and so it was nice. I mean, it's from books, but so books, of course, are still essential to me, but I wanted to think about making objects and having my hand in it. I was tired of looking at the computer screen, you know, so I wanted to...
Understand.
So,
We can understand.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you so much. I think it's the best is to spend time with the exhibition, because there is so many ways to look at it, to approach it, and to have different vision of it. And I don't know if you want to say something else, but I felt that it's the best is to spend time and time, because like for 2 days that we are mounting it, and we got the sculpture coming like last minute. That was the most beautiful things on time. So it's good to spend, I think, time in the space and to come back in it. So to see all the delicate, visions that you brought. Thank you so much.
I feel like there's littles that I tried to hide in there. So I like that maybe you find them, maybe you don't. But I also just wanted to say thank you to you, Coralie, and to 7L and to Magnum for making this happen. It's really, really, really special to be here and to feel, just to have time in this space and be given the opportunity. So thank you.
It's a lot of... If you want some questions, otherwise we are around, so it's easy to talk with us and with Gregory. Thank you.